Hey, what's up? Alrighty, so I gotta figure things out. Oh, there's one person already. Hi. Yeah, it's 8:58, so I'm 2 minutes early. So I'm just gonna wait until everybody come around. So yeah, it's 9 o'clock p.m. in Japan on Wednesday. So let me know where you are, and yeah, I'm just gonna chill for a while until I get 10 people. Yay, 10 people. Hi, 10 people. Hello. Oh, from Italy. Hi, what time is it in Italy? It's like I have no idea. Australia. Hi, konbanwa. Yay, thanks. Romania. Wow. Oh, okay. I'm already getting some questions. That's nice. So, okay, all right. So, places to visit in Matsuyama. Like, if it's like first time, then I will definitely recommend going to like Dogo Hot Spring. That's a public bath. That's the one of the oldest hot springs in entire Japan. And where else? There is a castle on top of the mountain. I heard that that's kind of rare as a castle. But yeah, oh, 新居浜市。こんにちは。すごい近いところから。こんばんは。Hi. So yeah, I recommend those. Not a place, but I recommend taking a sightseeing train called Ionana Monogatari. It goes by the ocean and then go into the mountain. And I think it's like a 2 hour ride. It's really really nice. And then they serve food. It's so good. So yeah, こんばんは. Hey guys, from Austria. Sorry, Austria. Hi. Macau. I don't even know where that is. Tell me where. Sorry, I should use my right hand. I'm covering my lens like over here. Sorry, guys. I have a friend. Actually, I have a whole sister in Austria. I don't know if she has moved to Italy. You know, like people in Europe, they just like, move around because like it's a super easy access. So I know like my host sister is from Austria, but she studied in the Netherlands for a while, and then I think she also studied in Italy. I'm not really sure, but yeah, something like that. Okay, alrighty. So how far did I go? Oh, why I didn't post? Yeah, I will go through that. Oh, from Aomori, hi. And Shibazakura Festival. Where is it? 4 years ago, you went to Shibazakura Festival. The sakura, right? That's a kind of sakura, right? Hi from California. Czech Republic, wow. Oh, you have come to Matsuyama before? That's cool. Oh, and last month, nice. こんばんは. So Mick is from Australia. I'm getting that right? Okay. ありがとうございます。Ireland, wow, like you guys are from like literally all over the world. That's kind of nice. Sri Lanka, wow. Guam, nice, Guam. Pennsylvania, hi. Florida, hi. Oh, I can't even say that word. Shibazakura is close to Mount Fuji. I have never been to Mount Fuji actually. I was born and raised in Japan, and I have never been to Mount Fuji actually. And then I think the first time I saw Mount Fuji probably from The plane, I guess, was when, like, it was like, a couple months ago. From Tokyo. Hi, Norm. uh, wow, you guys are from all over the place. Wow. Hi. Wow. 東京に住んでいますが、愛媛に引っ越したいんですけど、どうぞ来てください。ぜひぜひ、いいところですよ。Wow. Okay, so I know like I posted. I don't know if you guys see, like, do you guys see the thumbnail that I post before the live stream? I don't really know. But I posted like I had my cat and I had like a stay home kind of like stamp thingy on it, and it's like, oh, you guys should like join me, like, staying home kind of like, thing. But then I'm in the office. So hear me out. So I was about to get ready for this live stream, and I was gonna post like it's gonna be an hour to release my live stream, like you should come hang out with me, blah blah blah, right? And I noticed my Wi-Fi router at home was broken. And I don't have like unlimited data on my phone. I usually at my office or my house, and so I always use Wi-Fi. And then when I ever do live stream outside, then I have a pocket Wi-Fi, so-called Norm. So I was like, oh no, I gotta pack everything. I gotta go to the office. So I came to the office about like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, that's what happened. So even though I said like you should stay home, I'm in the office. But like, this is kind of like my house. I like my house, and it's very close to my house. Well, a little bit of drive. So it's not that bad. Oh, actually, because maybe it's because of the stay home thing, I didn't really see many cards. So that's very rare, even for Matsuyama, I guess. So no worries. I just wanted to have a moment to talk to you guys. So, wow, you guys are actually from all over the place. I'm gonna go through from London, Brazil. Wow, Spain. こんばんは. Good day, mate. I didn't know like you guys say good day. I thought you don't say that. Anyway, I never been to Australia, so I don't know for sure. But do you have to socially isolate right now? So Japanese government announced the state of emergency about a week ago. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago. They only declared 5 or 6 prefectures, like kind of like states in Japan, including Tokyo, and Ehime wasn't one of them. Up to this point, we have 40 something cases and a few deaths. It's not as severe as Tokyo or Osaka. So like I don't really see anything like people going like in the panicky mode at all. But yeah, the mayor of Ehime Prefecture has been telling us to stay home the past month or so. So and after the government declared the state of emergency to the all over Japan, still it's completely different from lockdown in other countries, I have to say. I'm in Japan, and so I'm not in other countries, so I don't know how things are over there. But even if you go outside for whatever the purpose, the police cannot do anything. The only thing the police can do is that you have to stay home. That's it, literally that's it. So they can't arrest you, they can't fine you. Yeah, you can't really do anything. But yeah, did I miss any comments? Okay, good. I didn't miss any. when I start like like when I talk for a long time, I think the comments just like disappear. So I don't know how like what kind of comments I get. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I'm at the office. That's why like yeah, my house Wi-Fi broke, and I found out about that about a hour ago, and I came straight to the office. But actually, it's pretty good because I can show you something in my office. Because like I think last time I talked about my business thing, it's probably been over a like a year, I guess. So yeah, the thing behind me is actually pretty cool. It's like pretty big TV kind of looking thing. It's like a monitor, and it's 55 inches. So I should go neat. Like this is my hand, so pretty big. It's not too small. And this is like one of those like a what is it? Like a smart TV. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making some words up, but yeah, like basically you can like write anything, and then like it comes with a pen. Doesn't really do anything. You can do with the finger, or you can do like okay, and it froze. It connects to the computer, so you have to have a computer. That's the downside of it. But yeah, basically you can do anything, and now it's froze, so I'm just gonna leave it here. But this is a computer, so you can watch YouTube, Netflix, anything basically. And yeah, it's pretty good. I'm using this one for about a couple months now with my classes, and actually like kids learn better with the technology lately. I think like I'm more like a pen and paper person. When I was a child, I wasn't allowed to play video games at all, so I didn't have like a Game Boy. Like I think Game Boy, the black and white Game Boy, came out for the first time when I was in like a kindergarten or something, and I really wanted because like everyone had it then, but then yeah, like my mom was like nope, no games, right? So yeah, like I'm more like a pen and paper person, but lately like kids know how to watch YouTubes and how to like they're expert. So when I like pull this up, they're like, oh, I know what to do. I was like, okay, great, wow. So yeah, I learned a lot from the kids. But anyway, so yeah, somebody has a really great question, I think. So yeah, my English school has been closed for a week now, just a week. Because I closed my entire school for 3 weeks in March, starting I think the end of February, when what was when we found out the first case in Ehime, and for 3 weeks because the government closed all the schools in entire Japan for 3 weeks until spring break. So I closed it, and then I switched to online, and I actually made a couple of like lesson videos, and I released it online, I mean on YouTube, and then basically students took online courses, more like video courses, right? And then things were getting a little bit better. School didn't actually start, but the club activities for especially like high school students started around March 20th, somewhere around there. And so I was like, well, maybe we can like start lessons. But then the government issued the state of emergency on, when was it? Like, I think it was like a week ago. Yeah, it was a week ago. So I decided to close. So between those two, big event, I was able to conduct maybe 2 weeks worth of classes. but then I had to close it again. But because, like Japanese school, I don't know if you guys know it, but Japanese school starts from April. So in April, everything changes, right? So in March, it was okay to do like a, little bit of like video lessons, because it was just like, like we all know what's going on. But in April, there are some new kids, so I decided to do a Skype lessons, so that like I found, I don't know if you guys know it, but like I found the, what is it called? I wrote down over here. Skype Meet Now. It's like very simple. You don't need, you have to download the app, the Skype app. But what was I gonna say? Uh, uh, onto a phone or tablet. If it was the laptop, the computer, then you don't have to even download the app. And then a person who wants to conduct the group meeting or whatever, this time like my English lesson, I'm just gonna just make the link and then send to everyone, and then they can just like log in, and if they don't have any Skype username or whatsoever, then they can just like log in as a guest, just like type in nickname or something, and then I was able to conduct like whole class, like 50-minute 50-minute class with 10 to 15 students all at once. And yeah, it was pretty good, so I'm gonna keep doing that for now, because right now until May 6th, so until the Golden Week ends, all the schools are shut down. So when schools are shut down, I don't know if I should do all that lessons and everything, especially like my classroom is smaller than regular school. So yeah, and I'm starting to get some other comments. So yeah, I'm teaching English remotely right now, and yes, my student is all Japanese. And any other business? Any other business? Actually, I think I should show you. I don't know if I can go how far with this. Let's try. Let's go on a little bit on an adventure. All right, so this is I think you are familiar with this room, all right? And except for the big monitor that I just purchased a couple months ago. But, okay, let's go outside. It's dark. Alrighty. So over here, ta-da! So over here, this is just the next door. I got this office, very wide. So like I teach like little kids over here with like little stools, and then we can run around. And I read some books, and then we sing songs and stuff like that, right? And then after that, I pull up these little desks and then little stools over there, and I basically conduct a cram school. So I'm not a teacher, I'm more like a manager for the cram school, but I hire some employees, and they teach basically everything, like math, Japanese, social studies, science, English. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. But yeah, and then like we have courses for kids to prepare for Eiken. I don't know if you guys know what Eiken is. It's kind of like a English test for Japanese people. We have like different ranks. It starts from grade 5 and it goes up to grade 1, and 1 is the best. But yeah, we have like reading, writing, like listening, and a speaking test. things like that. So yeah, so that's my new office. So it's kind of similar to what I've been doing because it involves teaching and whatnot, and it's next door. But still, I guess this is something like a little bit different from like English teaching, I guess. And this time I'm not the one who's teaching it. I'm just like doing the manager work. But yeah, and we came back. So it's a little chilly outside. It's not that bad. So yeah. So that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm gonna plug my phone. Okay, all right. So yeah, also it's not really, I don't know if you guys like to hear about my English teaching thing, but remember the video I made probably like 6 months ago where I was like, should I go to Finland? Do you guys remember that? So I made a video just like me sitting in the office, like this office, and saying like, so I heard that the Finnish education is pretty good. And so I wanted to know, but when I Google, I don't really see any like in-depth information. And you can't always trust what the internet says. So anyways, I was like, I tried to reach out to you guys, say, hey, if you know anything about Finnish education, let me know. And I'm thinking of going to Finland sometime soon to actually see how they teach. Like it doesn't have to be English, but like how they teach in general, right? But at the same time, I was thinking of making some study materials. Like I wanted to make study material from scratch, like simply because like anything that I find online that are like course books for English teaching, I don't know, the level of those course books are very low. So like there is like one phrase that you want to teach for this section, and then basically that's it. And then there's maybe like a few conversations in the book, and I don't know, I feel like kids can do more than that. The kids, because like we never really learn like grammar and stuff like that when we are little. It doesn't matter which language you speak, right? You just hear and you just copy your parents or friends, and then I didn't want to teach like grammar to little kids. So that was the thing. So like I wanted to kind of like I think I should show you. So I made some like books and like cards. I don't want to show like every single detail because like I'm kind of proud of myself how well I structured everything and designed and everything. Well, actually, I didn't draw any pictures. I had my friend help me. Oh, you guys know her, Dui. Remember Dui? She okay, this is bugging me. How can I take this away? I can do this. If it's just white, and that's fine. Okay. So remember Louis, she is one of my friends, and she has been to Australia and Canada for a working holiday, and we together made a video or two, and she is actually like a designer. So I asked her if she could do something for me, and she drew most of the pictures. But yeah, hello, I'm doing good. So basically I made some flashcards like this. I don't want to show you the details, but this is for like, this is beginner class. So from 5-6-year-olds to 7 or 8. I think it's to 7. So until grade 2. So we can do like a bingo game, we can do like a karuta, you know what it is? So basically I say the word and then they have to find the right picture, and then like they have to take it, kind of like That's like a typical Japanese game, like card game, karuta. Or I made a picture dictionary for little kids, like the short conversation that they can practice in class. One thing I learned from watching some documentary on the Finnish school and talking to some of you guys from Finland, that usually in class you guys do a lot of like talking, class work, because that's the only place you can do a lot of talking and listening, right? So I put a lot of activities that we can do together, and less writing but more talking. And then before I was doing like writing work as well. Like I have a workbook. Like I have workbook. Like this is a really regular workbook. But then I decided not to work on the workbook during the class, because that's kind of a waste of time. So I decided to make those as homework, so that they can go back and then like kind of reflect on what they've done in the class, and they can practice writing at their speed. And some people write slow, some people write very fast, right? So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I've been working on making these study materials, and what was I doing? Oh, and I was getting ready for the office that I showed you earlier next door. So that's why I have been gone for the past month or two. I'm really sorry. I think the last video I uploaded was like in February, I think. So entire March I was gone, and then like today's the April 22nd, right? Oh, actually, today was actually the day that I was going to carry the Olympics torch. Yeah, it was the day. So I took a day off today so that I can do that, I can focus on it. And I was supposed to go to, like I lived in Matsuyama, right? And still within Ehime, but I was supposed to go to a island called Kamijima-cho. And because those like small islands get together, it's along the Shimanami Kaido. If you are a biker, you might know, because they have a one of the world's biggest like cycling race or something every year. But yeah, along that like really long nice bridge, there are many small islands, and we were able to run with the Olympics torch in our hands. But because of the coronavirus, everything was so. Yeah, that's really sad, because like today was really actually nice. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it was warm, it was sunny, it was like perfect weather. And it was like even though like people were saying like, oh, you can't film, so I couldn't probably carry a camera and run, but still like my mom was planning on coming, so she could hold the camera for me, right? So oh, you went to Aoshima? Aoshima Island is a cat island, right? Yeah. I also want to, like, I actually plan going to Aoshima Island. That's a cat, it's famous for cats. There are so many cats, probably more, there are much more cats than people on the island. But because it's a small island, there are only like two like boats between like Ehime, the mainland, and then the little Aoshima island. So either you take a very early morning round to go to Aoshima and stay for like entire day and then come back in the evening, or you go early but you stay for like 30 minutes and come back. It was like crazy schedule, so I never actually I did a little bit of research though. I'm a very a big cat person. I have 4 cats, so. But it's not. I found out that I wasn't that good for me because I have asthma, so cats are not good if you have asthma. It's like haha. But yeah, I don't get too close to them. Social distancing, right? With the cats as well. But yeah, they're so cute. Okay, I'm gonna go through your comments because I have been ignoring you the whole time and I feel bad. Yeah, channels is still open. I'm just haven't been around. Sorry. I'm so happy that you guys joined tonight because yeah, I felt really bad that I was gone for so long. So, oh yeah, 100 people. Hi, 100 people. Oh, you were supposed to be Matsuyama last week? Oh, that's so sad. Yeah. Or next year, or, It has to end at some point, though. So, keep our hopes up. Yeah. This is not gonna be forever, so. My puppy's doing good. She's about 12, 13 years old, so she's pretty, old lady. So, yeah. But lately my mom started doing so she has been against the whole technology. She's one of those. So she was like, oh, I don't want to have a cell phone, right? But she ended up having a cell phone, like a flip-flop phone. And then she kept that phone for how long? God knows how long. Over 10 years or something, and basically the phone died. And so either she's gonna get a new flip-flop phone or she's gonna update to a smartphone. And of course she was like, oh, I don't want to get a smartphone, right? But guess what? If you're lucky, you can get a new smartphone cheaper than flip-flop phone. So, so it was just about math, and she decided to get not iPhone. It was a Google Pixel something. So yeah, and it wasn't that expensive, and yeah, iPhone 11. I want to get iPhone 11, but okay. Sorry, the sidetracking, but I am debating to get the iPhone SE or the iPhone 11 because right now I'm still using my iPhone 7 Plus, and I like that size though. But because I was using my phone to film for YouTube, until a couple years ago, I don't really do that now because I have my point and shoot and then the DSLR. But you never know what happens. But I really like the home button though. My brother has iPhone 10, and every time he had trouble with something and he asked me a question, I was like, oh, how do I go back? I don't know how to deal with this no button whatsoever phone. So yeah. Anyway, going back to my mom's story. And anyway, so she was opposed to getting a smartphone, but once she got it, all she does from morning to night is Instagram. All day long, like a teenager. She's like, and then on the phone the whole time. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah. How did I get here? I have no idea what I was talking about. So anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of debating whether or not to get SE because SE comes in only the smaller size if I read the article correctly. So it's not a plus size, right? And also the data, the capacity is only 4 gigabytes, and I think I have like 128 or something like that. So I was like, but yeah, my mom went back to teenager. Oh, you like Jay? You like flip phones too? Oh. Oh, sorry, I'm going through your comments. Yeah, like flip flop phones never go away. Cause like, okay, if you are running a business and if you need to get a cell phone, get a company cell phones for your employees, it's much cheaper to get the flip flop phones, flip flop phones to your employees, right? Rather than like getting them iPhones and stuff. So, but yeah. 64 gigabytes is not enough for me because like I have like 128 gigabytes right now on my phone and it's always full. Like whenever I connect to my phone to my computer, it gives me like a red bar. So yeah. Yeah. SE is 4.7 inches screen and the iPhone Plus is 5.5. So, But like, you know, as I said, like I have my cameras now. Like back when I got my first iPhone Plus, yeah, was because I didn't have any other filming devices. So only way to film for YouTube was my phone. So I wanted to be able to see the details, what I'm filming and whatsoever. And if you see my old videos, you probably know, but I was editing on my phone. I was using the iMovie thing that comes with your iPhone, and basically I killed my first iPhone. Yeah, it turned itself off. That was a very scary moment. And that was the time when I noticed like, oh, I have to get a laptop to edit. So, yeah. Are you still allowed to run classes in person right now? I can. I haven't gotten any notice from the governments that I have to shut my business. And even if I had my office in Tokyo, technically I can run my type of classes because okay, I can't do the calculation, but if your office, if you're running something like, you know, eikaiwa, like English schools or a cram school, as long as your floor surface is less than 1,000 square meters, you can. But that's ridiculous because I don't think any cram school have that big of the classroom. I think 1,000 square meters is like super big, right? So I think here is like, I don't know. This room is like 40 square meters. Because like this way is like 10 meters. 10 meters? Do we have 10 meters? I don't know. I know this way is 4 meters. But yeah, like less than 40 square meters. So 1,000 square meters. It's just like really big. But do you have any upcoming new contents planned that canceled due to? Oh, luckily, no, I didn't get any anything booked. Usually, I don't really work with other companies, YouTube wise. Sometimes I do get some like offers, like hey, you know, like what did I do? I did like 2-3 years ago. I did like a rental car promotion for Toyota, but other than that, like I might get like one or two, like kind of like sponsored videos, right? And I get to go, usually I get to go somewhere and then they're like, oh, you can introduce Ehime and you do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Most of the companies like companies or governments I've worked with, they were like that. They're like, oh, you do whatever you want to do. Like, yeah. So they're very easygoing, so I like that. But yeah, I don't really approach to companies or governments saying, hey, like I want to collaborate with you. I just don't have time to do that because like, putting an email together to send out to those like places takes forever. So I just don't do it. And when I want to film something, I just go and do. So the last job I had from the Ehime prefectural office, like government, like local government, was the one that you probably like. I think I got a lot of like positive comment from you guys that you guys wanted to see more of those kind of videos. So I might do it like, personally once this coronavirus is over, but going to southern Ehime and then like, talk about different towns and cities and stuff, right? So that was like a government job, but other than that, so that was done in the end of January this year. So it was like, yeah. Hi from Canada, hi. But yeah, so yeah. I mean, I don't know about other YouTubers though. Like, because like I'm not like full-time YouTuber. Like I do whatever whenever I feel like doing it. And so, yeah, I don't 外行かないです。大丈夫です。外行ってません。And so yeah, but yeah, like it's not just like me or other like YouTubers, but like most of the jobs, right now, like if you can work from your if you can work from home and you're lucky. But there are so many jobs out there that you have to go outside and work. So yeah, and especially like nurses and doctors too, because like I had to pick up my medication for asthma, not coronavirus, asthma. Just so you know, I have to say like so many times like I don't have coronavirus, I have asthma. So I just needed to pick up my medication. So I called beforehand because like hey, is it okay to just like drop by and like pick up my medication? But they have like they have like a different ways, like they have to have like certain flows of patients, and then like if there are any people who might have coronavirus, they have to separate them even though they are not sure, right? So they have like some other, like they have like a kind of like a temporary place, like a small office outside, and like they tell certain people to stay in the cars. And yeah, it was like it was just so crazy. Like even though places like Matsuyama, where we only have like 40 plus cases of coronavirus patients, if you go to like going to the hospital and then get your normal, like regular medication is kind of a hustle. And then seeing like doctors and like nurses like running around like even outside, right? It's like, oh, so yeah, we have, I guess like we all have a different level of appreciation for those who work at the hospital right now, I guess. But yeah, okay. All right, tea break. Interesting question. Question about teaching English in Japan. I have various job offers, but some seem like agencies. Another seems like a single private school. Another government program. What are the differences? Interesting. um, I'm thinking if it's like a government offered job, and probably that's an ALT job, assistant language teacher at public schools. So the famous program is the JET program. So basically, they sponsor you a visa, and I think up to 5 years you can come to Japan and teach English at the public schools. But it's not like you can go anywhere you want to go. I think you have to submit the maybe like top 5 or top 10 prefectures or cities that you want to go. Obviously, a lot of people want to go to Tokyo or those area, so those will be very difficult uh, to get. But yeah, if it's like Ehime or something, it's not that hard. I think it's not that popular. It's not that popular, sadly. It's a good place though. If it's a government, I think it's not that bad job. ALT wise, I don't know if there's any other government related English teaching job out there. But if it's LT, the payment isn't that bad, but there are a few things that I've heard from LT teachers that basically you go to class and you sit there. And when the homeroom teacher asks you to do certain things and you do. Or it's completely opposite, and then like the teacher just give you the textbook, which is mostly written in Japanese, and hey, you're an English teacher, you come up with 45-minute class every week. Yeah, either way, I don't know. But on the other hand, I've heard like that was like one of the most valuable experiences that they've done in their lives. So it's kind of like lottery. Like if you win the lottery, you go to the great school, you meet a great teacher and kids, very satisfying job. But if it's not, and you can't really, there's not so many places that you can go and say, hey, I want to switch schools, or I want to do something like this, or like they might listen to you, but they don't really make any changes because it's government job. Yeah, there are many big companies like Nova, Eon. What else? That's it? I can't really think of any other. Nova, Eon, ECC. If it's in Tokyo, I think like Brilitz or something like that. But we don't have those in Matsuyama, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think the big difference is whether or not the company that you work for can support your visa, right? I guess big companies are used to issuing the working visa, so you might get your visa very easily. That's one thing. And you're gonna ask for the health insurance or other like maybe potential pension or something like that, and they probably always have the answer for that. Whether or not you can get the health insurance, or you have to find your own insurance or from your home country or whatsoever. Private schools, like small schools, one thing they might be just looking for those who already have a visa, or who who are married to Japanese person and can live forever. So basically work like a Japanese person. Or even if they can sponsor your visa, they might not know a lot of things legally, and even if you have some questions or if you have any troubles submitting some documents, they might not be able to help, right? Yeah, and no, regardless of the companies that you work for, even if it's like I think it happens often for like big corporations that you cannot work full time, like stay shine. So you can't get any health benefits whatsoever. You are basically like a contract worker kind of thing. So like basically for as a company, we are like outsourcing. So we don't protect you from anything. So we don't have like, as an owner of the company, I don't have any responsibility over you. That type of situation. But if it's a private school, we tend to have like a lot of like benefits. So you can work as a full-time worker, so you can get all the benefits as well. So you just need to talk to the owner or the people in charge of hiring. So yeah, if that clears things out. All right, I'm gonna go through. Yeah, something was called Jet, and yes, another called Nova. Yeah, tea break. As I said, asthma. Yeah, tea break because I'm kind of like trying to refrain from coffee. Like I tend to get like upset stomach lately, and I'm thinking of like maybe it's like from coffee. It's like I love coffee. I'm a coffee lover. I can drink coffee basically every minute of the day, and the caffeine doesn't do anything to me. So like I can drink coffee, the very like before go to bed, and I can still sleep in 5 minutes later. So yeah. Have I ever studied abroad? Yes. I went to America, Hawaii. Yay, Hawaii. I went to Hawaii for a year when I was in high school. So I was like about 16. And it was like kind of like, typical studying abroad exchange student program thingy. And I went to local school there. Like I always like say like when I said like I went to Hawaii for a year, and then I was like, oh my god, that's so great, and like there are so many tourists, blah blah blah. No, where I visited, she has a California accent. I died. What? Do I have California accents? I never been to California. Well, I went to the airport. That's it. But yeah, anyway. So I went to Hawaii for a year, and I came back. Yeah, it's a great place, but I don't like ocean, so like the 10 months that I was in Oahu Island, which is the the main island of Hawaii, I guess. So like where Hawaii's at, and then like Diamond Heads and stuff like that. I climbed Diamond Heads maybe like once or twice. I ran Honolulu Marathon. What else did I do? But I just surfed once. How did I enhance my English speaking skills? Basically, so I starting now I'm like bleh. I started studying English when I was 3. I went to one of those like Eikaiwa school, but back then, like I'm 27 right now, so like 25 years ago, English schools weren't that popular back then. We did have Nova, but they screwed up somehow and they were gone for a while. But anyway, so I went to one of those like, a place where foreigners come and teach English, right? But now I think about it, the Eikaiwa school isn't that great because those teachers only stayed for like 3-4 months because they were here to just like study. They're here for just like working holiday, so they never stick. So like we get normally 2 to 3 new teachers throughout the year. So there is no consistency, there's no program whatsoever. So when I think about it, even if the teachers were from other countries, and we never know if they're like native English speakers, right? So, but because we had less English schools like that, my parents, like neither one of them can speak English at all. It was so funny when I made a video with my mom 1, 2 years ago, and I pointed out my camera to her and saying, it was like, happy birthday mom kind of like video, and I was like, oh mom, how old are you now, right? And then she said fifth when she wanted to say 50 years old. So she's that bad. Anyway, so my parents are so bad at English. They never been to other countries. They don't even own a passport. But they thought that I should be able to speak at least a little bit of English if I, because, 21st century, because it's 21st century, 21st century. Yeah, so, because it's like online and everything in the future back then. Yeah, going back and forth. So anyway, so like before I went to Hawaii, I was able to speak okay level. Like if it was like 1-to-1, then I can understand most of what the other person is saying and I can answer correctly. If it was like I couldn't watch any like TV shows or movies in English back then before going to Hawaii. But I participated in one of the like speech contest for high school students. So when I was 15, after I enrolled into high school, I did the like a 5 minutes English speech or something, and I was number 3 in Shikoku Island. I was number 1 in Ehime. But like when I hear the speech now, I was like, oh, okay, my English isn't that bad. I couldn't compare back then, but yeah. So I think it's fair to say that my pronunciation wasn't that bad from the start. And yeah, I went to Hawaii and then I came back and then I was able to basically like communicate. Like watching TV is like super difficult, especially like Hawaii people speak like Hawaii English. Like I don't even know, like I can't speak Pidgin, but yeah, like how people from Hawaii mix many different languages because there are so many people from many other countries. So they use Japanese or they use Hawaiian, they use other like Chinese or Koreans into English sentences, and it doesn't make any sense. And also their accent is like very specific too. So when I wanted to watch some like news on TV, I couldn't understand because like either like the broadcaster is either from like New York or California or somewhere, right? So yeah, and then I came back to Japan and then I graduated from both high school. I actually skipped one grade, and then I graduated from a high school in Hawaii as well. I didn't go to like a Japanese school though. I went to like a local high school. So I had to take like US history and everything. I was like, oh, I have no idea. But yeah, I did that. And then I came back and I also graduated from high school here in Ehime as well. And then I took TOEFL. It's kind of like a SAT for international students. And then I decided to go to university in Missouri. Yeah, like why Missouri, right? Yeah, I know. But I studied there for 2 years and I came back when I was 20. So altogether, I would say roughly 3 years overseas. It took so long, probably like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to answer one question. I'm really bad at like answering like boom, 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 boom. So like if I missed any of your questions, just type so many times. Oh, thank you. My English speaking is good. Thank you. Like you shouldn't compliment me because like as soon as you do that and I screw up like that's my tendency. So the California accent is similar to the Hawaiian accent. Okay. Yeah, maybe. But like somebody, I can't remember, but somebody um said like are you from like Midwest or something like that? Probably the person was from America. But like, wow, that's very specific. Yeah, I lived in Missouri. I was like, oh, that's why. So maybe I do have a little bit of like a Missouri accent. I don't know. I don't know about Missouri accent. I don't know, but like, is this like Missouri accent? Like, the word probably, probably, right? And then we said probably, probably. I don't know if it's like, oh, I sound Midwestern. Okay, so maybe like I mix Hawaiian and the Midwestern accent. But like, do you guys say like probably or like probably? Oh, I sound like I lived in LA. Oh, LA sounds cooler. Sorry, Missouri. I love you. But yeah, interesting. But yeah, I think. Hmm. Yeah, I do not have a strong accent. That's true. Yeah. Hi, from Germany. Hi. Can I say anything in German? Like I took German classes in Missouri. Probably. Do you say probably? Like I said probably, and then like a lot of people, like lots of my friends. Okay. Where are you from? Sorry, I can't. The duct tape 14. Did you like the barbecue in Missouri? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And actually, I didn't know what barbecue was in the States. Texas. Okay, okay. So Texan, right? That's how you say it, Texan. Um, Say probably. Okay. Anybody from Missouri? No. Okay. Yeah, I went back to Missouri because like when I was a college student, I was. Uh, yeah, like I was very, very poor. Cause like it was like very international school, so there are so many students from all over the world actually, and like those people, like those exchange students, are so rich. Like they're rich, they're coming from like rich families. So basically, like I don't know, like they spend a lot of money on basically anything. And even though they are already uh, in Missouri, like in America, then for spring break or summer break, they go to Europe or they go to Canada or they travel around the world. That rich. And me, on the other hand, I was like, I worked before going to the States. I basically saved up all the money from part-time job that I did in high school here in Japan and brought all that money with me so that I could pay my phone and then like like water and then like the like bare minimum amount of like snack or clothes or something that I need in America because I couldn't ask my parents to pay more than my tuition, right? And although I got a scholarship, uh, I could pick up some like part-time job within the campus. So I usually people do like we call that system work and learn. So you can get any job from like cafeteria to like work in your interested field, something like like maybe if you're a science person and you can like work for the professor, like being an assistant or something, and you can earn hours that way. But I was in the theater major, so I worked backstage. I did lighting, so now I actually can do like I can design like lighting for show. Basically, I was like I did all the design and stuff like that. So I worked like that. But usually people do how many hours? Like 120 hours per semester, and you can get $1,200 discount from your tuition. So it works kind of like a like a little bit of like extra scholarship. And usually they just like people just do 120 hours per semester, but I doubled that. So I did double work and learn, and so I did 240 hours per semester. And yeah, so I tried to save money. So I didn't have money to go out and eat at all. And only treat I got was like when me and some of my close friends who were working for like one professor, like lighting, theater lighting professor, and we have to work in the middle of the night basically because the show ends in the middle of the night, right? And then we have to strike everything down and then get ready for the next show and stuff like that. Nice to see you just talk and talk. Yeah, I just talk and talk. But yeah, so then the professor basically, take us out to the subway or somewhere and, buy us a sandwich or whatever. So that was like the only time that I went out. So long story short, and it's already long enough, but yeah. So I couldn't I couldn't get any like fancy food. Like I couldn't really eat out when I was in college. So when I went back to Missouri to see my friends after completely coming back to Japan, which was 2 years ago, my friends took me to many places, including the barbecue. Yeah, now I'm still talking about barbecue, by the way. Including the barbecue because like when I heard about barbecue, I thought like Japanese barbecue. I was like, what's barbecue? And then like we should go to barbecue, and it was like it was really good. But yeah, and then like we first time I was in Missouri for 2 years, and like I don't know like anybody from Missouri? I don't know. But Missouri is basically like middle of nowhere. Like we don't like I lived in St. Charles. If anybody know, I think it's okay to say the name of the university, but I went to Lindenwood University. So I lived in St. Charles, so it's close to St. Louis, right? But I'm not like a big sports fan in general, so I didn't care much about the what's the name of the baseball team? Cardinals or something like that. I don't even know. Right? So I didn't go to the stadium. I went to the Arch once. But yeah. And then my friends took me to the where? I don't even know. Like more like a touristy place when I went back to Missouri the last time. So. I feel like you might consider most of America to be the middle of the. Yeah, I think so. Cause like okay, so I have. I think she was in my videos too when I went back to Missouri a couple years ago. But my friend Lisa is from Illinois. And I don't remember the name of the town and I don't want to say it. But so she's actually from middle of nowhere. So I went to her house a few times, but it's 2-3 hours drive from St. Charles. And basically there's like a Lisa's house, right? And then around it, it just, oh, you used to live in St. Charles? Yeah, hi. But it's just like, field. I don't remember it was like cornfield or what, but like it's just like field, right? And then we were able to just like, hop on the four-wheelers. That's what it's called. And then we can like drive around. Right? And then like the neighbor is just so far away. And according to her, St. Charles or St. Louis is like huge city. So yeah, so maybe you're right. Like for me, everything is like middle of nowhere in America. Yeah, except Chicago. I went to Chicago. I passed by Chicago. It looked like a big city. Oh, and New York. Sure. I didn't walk around in LA, so I don't know about LA. Yeah, I know. Like, I want to go to somebody said like long hair, but I want to go to the salon and like cut it in like a not short, but like it's okay length to be honest. And then like now like my like I want to dye my hair too, but like because of this coronavirus, like I don't want to go out. So like the beauty salons are open. Um, like I personally feel like getting your hair trimmed or like dyeing your hair aren't urgent because like even if you don't cut your hair for a few months, you don't die, right? So I think it's okay to close those like barbers and like beauty salons, but according to Japanese government, the what is it called? And beauty salons are like necessary places to survive. So like okay, but yeah. Sorry, I'm going through some. Yes. Do you think like hair salons are essential even if it's you know like lockdown situation? San Francisco. Wait. I don't want to look stupid. San Francisco is in California, right? I'm right, right? Oh, thank you. My hair looks nice. Thank you. But like, even if it looks okay, like anybody has long hair like mine, like my hair actually goes like to my tummy. Um, it's very hard to wash my hair every day and um, dry my hair. It takes forever. So, like I want it like like at least like maybe here-ish. And like my hair grows so fast. So, and I want to dye my hair a little bit. Because like, like a little bit like brownish here, but like it's completely black. So, anyway, enough about my hair. Hi, from New Zealand. I'm going back a little bit to see the comments. Oh, this is that's a nice question. Okay, that's a very good one, Andrew. Have you thought about going blonde? Actually, I've done it once, long time ago. So okay, so it was actually before going to Missouri. So after high school, right? Like when I went to Hawaii for the first time, as I said, my family doesn't go anywhere, like literally anywhere. Um, so like it was like my like biggest trip in my life up to until in my 16 years of my life at that point, right? And so I was like, I packed my yukata and like packed my tea ceremony set, and like I went full on like Japanese. Like I want to share my Japanese culture too, and I want to learn about like Western culture as well. Um, you know, like I was like that. You know what I mean? Like this is your first time going abroad, and you were still in high school, like Japanese high school. Yeah. Anyway, and so and I was like so excited. And it was good. It was good. Like I was able to like wear yukata, and like my friends and her family was like super excited about it. And because it's Hawaii, and like everybody is somewhat familiar with Asian culture, so they're like they want to talk about like what they know about Japan and things like that. So it was good. It was good. But at the same time, I learned that just because you are an exchange student, it doesn't mean the people there are interested in your culture, or they see you as a person, but they don't see you as a representative of Japan. They don't see Japan, they see you. That's the first thing I noticed when I went to Hawaii for the first time. So even though I was like full on like I'm Japanese, right? But they're like, yeah, but you're Sherry, right? Like you don't have to like you know present Japan. It's like okay, that sounds a lot easier than I thought. Because like I can be myself, and I don't have to be like in Japan we do this, you know, something like that. So anyway, again, long story long. I'm not gonna make long story short. I'm just gonna make long story long as it is. So I was like, my relative, especially my aunt, was like, "Oh, like you are Japanese, so you should keep your black hair." And then probably Americans or like other country, the people from other countries who don't have black hair, they might like your black hair because you're Japanese. So okay, not so many people really care about like what color your hair is. Like if you wanna like dye into any other color, not like pink maybe, but just do it, you know? Yeah, I could be myself, right? And then more like I wanted to be fit in because like when I went to Missouri I was 18. And so I didn't want it to stand out because I was Japanese. And this time I knew that there would be many Japanese people in college because the college was big. In Hawaii, believe it or not, there was no other Japanese people. The people who I went with from the same program was all Europeans. So I was only Asian there. So even if I wanted to speak Japanese, I couldn't, right? There was like one Japanese teacher in high school, but I rarely talked to her. Like I went to help out her Japanese class once or twice, and I helped her taiko, Japanese drum club, once or twice, and then I performed at the festival and whatnot. But that was pretty much it. So, but yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to like fit into American culture and whatnot. So I didn't want to be like I'm Japanese, so I do like things in certain way. Like Japanese person should have black hair. Like I don't feel like that. So yeah, yeah. So my hair was blonde and it wasn't this long. So, but anyway, still we're talking about hair. See, I said we are done with the hair. Oh, hi from Hong Kong. Is that now visitors? Oh, sorry. I pushed the wrong place. People. That's ambulance, by the way. Yeah, I think the 14 days self quarantine started from I don't know, way back, maybe like a month ago or two. But yeah, no matter what, even if you were Japanese, you have to. Yeah, I think I seen some post of my friends, not like close friends, but like Facebook friends. Uh, came back to Japan, like they're Japanese, and came back to Japan, but they have to stay at the hotel or something for 2 weeks. So yeah, that's a thing. What about Lindenwood? What about Lindenwood? Were there any other Japanese students when you were there? Yeah, definitely. Lindenwood is the university that I went in Missouri, and there were I would say about like 10, less than 10 Japanese students in my year. Some of them were in grad school. So couple students in grad school and then couple undergrads, and they're Japanese, mostly from Tokyo. And then and then I think if you include the entire school, probably like up to 30 Japanese students, but I never spoke with them. um it just like I knew that from the beginning. Before I went, I knew that there were gonna be some Japanese students in Lindenwood. And so like first they came to me saying like, hey, you're Japanese, like in Japanese of course, like, oh yeah, you're Japanese, but like I kept my mouth shut. Like I turned them down like polite way, but my excuse was I couldn't speak standard Japanese. Like I'm from Ehime and I can't speak standard like Tokyo dialect, and I don't want to embarrass myself. This is a lie, but I don't want to embarrass myself. So if you want to speak to me in English, I will, but I don't want to speak Japanese with you guys. So I cut them off on the first day, and yeah, I don't think I ever hang out with them. Yeah, I don't think I ever done that. But like most of the Japanese people had, so there were some dorms on campus, and off campus there were housing too. And uh, mostly it's not just for Japanese students, but also like other people too. But people tend to get together, like people from the same country tend to get together anyway. Like I understand the feelings. I get lonely too. I get homesick. So sometimes I'm like I want to speak Japanese. I want to hang out with Japanese people. But when I wanted to do that, like I usually like Skype my friends or family back home in Japan. And I try not to speak Japanese with other Japanese students there. But yeah, a lot of people sit together, and you know, it's not just Japanese people. Like I see a lot of German people at German table, French people over there, like Mongolians over there, like Japanese over there, so something like that. Um, and then they tend to get like big house together, so like 5 6 people get together and then like share a house, something like that. So, but luckily I was majoring in theater, so not so many people, not so many foreigners majoring in theater. So yeah, mostly most of the foreign students take the international relationship or business. So I didn't like my classes didn't overlap with them. Have I ever thought of visiting Canada? Yes. Toronto seems to have a fascination with Japanese culture and food. Yeah, I want to go to Canada. For some reason, like since I came back to Japan, I don't know why. Like not not everyone, but like almost all the people I meet in Japan are from Canada. Like Norm, right? Norm, Shala, and then the person I worked with in the kindergarten, and Jasmine. I don't know if you guys remember Jasmine, but Jasmine lives in Matsuyama, and then we have done a collaboration about studying the business in Japan as a foreigner video. Jasmine is also half Canadian. Who else? I can't think of any. But yeah, most of the people are, yeah. Mm. Yeah. I don't know why. And then I have never been to Canada. So. What is the popular food dish in Ehime? Food dish ね。Actually, this is very hard. My favorite dish. Yeah, my favorite dish is Thai meshi. Thai is sibrim, the red snapper. Okay, the fish, and meshi is rice. So basically, it's a bowl of rice topped with sea brim sashimi with some soy sauce based sauce and raw egg. So if you like sashimi and if you're okay with raw egg, you can always like ask to the waiter to serve without the raw egg. So don't worry about that part. But if you like sashimi, I think Thai meshi is the best dish in Ehime. Theater, did you catch the 25th anniversary Phantom of the Opera screening? Oh no, I didn't. But I did go to watch that in Broadway on the way back to Japan from Missouri, actually. It was pretty cool. Sorry, I'm trying to read. Trying to read. Konbanwa. Surprisingly, like I think this is the first time I ever gotten this many Japanese people or Japanese speakers. I can't see if they're actually Japanese, so like I get a lot of like comments in Japanese, like hiragana and kanji and stuff. Hello from the Philippines. Hi. Yeah, like raw eggs. In Japan, like I think I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but a lot of supermarkets, like grocery stores, know that Japanese people eat mostly eggs raw. So I think they have some certain like process to go through. So it's still people get sick sometimes though. Don't get me wrong, but the salmonella is usually on the shell. So as long as you try not to touch the fingers with the fingers that you touch the shell with, then you should be okay. Or like wash your hands, you know. Yeah, should be okay. And also like the expiration dates for eggs are very short in Japan, usually a week or two. And you have to put in the refrigerator. So, yeah. Oh, do the children do many different sports? Does your school offer sports program or sorry, I don't know the word, but I get the gist. Okay, so for those who don't know what kind of school I'm running, I'm running a so-called cram school. So basically, it's study based. The office next door, not this one, the next door. A new school, a new classroom is basically for helping kids to catch up with the schoolwork, or we offer some like advanced course, like if even because in Japan there is no skipping grades, So even though certain kids are in grade 3, they are smart enough to go through some textbooks for grade 5, but they can't skip schools, skip grades. So they tend to come here and then do grade 5 workbook or whatsoever. So it's mostly like, sit down and study. And then like this room is for English conversation only. So I use the board behind me, and we have some like my original study materials, and we go through, basically we practice like how to pronounce or like how to say things and like how to communicate in English. And like for little kids, we talk about like, typical things like, how to use social medias in a good way, what to do, what not to do, or if you are going out for a job interview, what to wear, what not to wear, things like that. So we don't really offer any like, exercise or sports event. And I was kind of surprised when I went to Hawaii and then in high school that like kids tend to switch sports between semesters. So like first semester they do like football, and then like second semester they do, I don't know, basketball or something like that. In Japan, if you decide to do like one sport, like decide to belong to a club activity at school, then you have to stick with it the next 3 years. So we have 3 years in middle school, junior high school. So usually they decide what they want to do. Well, it doesn't have to be sports. Of course, they can belong to a brass band, or like they can go with art or something like that. But once you belong to certain club activity, they usually stuck with that. Like you can change, but not so many people change. And it's not like, semester. Like in America, it's like more like semester. Like one semester, what you want to do. And a second semester, or like maybe summer activity and a winter activity, right? So it's not something like that. So, yeah. Dun, dun. Is there no way for them to graduate early or test out of classes? No. No. I don't know, but like maybe that's something to do with like Japanese culture or tradition, that we want to, like we like to do the same thing at the same time all together. So, and then we tend to care about our age a lot. Like actually, this might surprise you, but one of the first conversation you might have with the stranger, so meeting with the person for the first time, one of the few things that come up is like, how old are you and stuff like that. We don't really ask other person's age unless you're very close, right? So, but like in Japan, if it's like, if there's a gender difference, maybe it might be not a good idea to ask age. But if I meet, okay, so this is okay. Like if I meet Jasmine for the first time and I ask Jasmine, it's like, oh, like you look like, we are in the same age, so how old are you? And then she answers, and then like a lot of people get excited if we're the same age. I was like, oh my god, we're the same age. Because that means we can speak more casually. We don't have to use keigo. And if the other person is even if they are just like 1 year older than you, then suddenly you have to use keigo. The polite language. We have like certain words that we have to use for elder people who's older than you. But yeah. So maybe that's something to do with it. So like we care about age a lot. So there is no skipping grades. Okay. All right. What are some life lessons learned in the West that have stuck with you? That's actually a good question. I don't know if you count Hawaii as a West, because that's pretty Asian country. Not even a country, it's like Asian state. Okay. Life lesson. Okay, life lesson. Hold on. By the way, I'm drinking milk tea. Milk tea. For those who don't live in Japan, tea with milk. Oh, you can figure that out, right? Things I learned from the West is but like one thing that I notice is people overseas, well, obviously I have only been to America, but people in America are very, very nice. Like they are so polite, they talk to you. Yeah, like even if with strangers, like it doesn't have to be in the States, but like for example, like so some reason, I think I asked some people why and then they gave me some answers, but I don't know if you can do it, but it seems like not foreigners, like English speakers who come to Japan can kind of figure out among the Japanese people that they see every day who can speak English and who can't by just looking at them, right? So even though at the like Narita airport in Tokyo, I remember like once like I went into the bathroom before the flight or something, and there's I don't know, from judging from her accent, probably American, but I think that the something was broken or something, and there's another person too. But then she just looked at me, but it's in Japan, and then she said like, "Oh, this is broken, ha ha ha," to me, and then I responded to her. So somehow she knew that I could speak English because she didn't say to the other person. She didn't even look at her. But anyway, so that kind of thing happens a lot, but that doesn't happen in Japan. If you are a person, like if you're Japanese and in Japan and say things like that to a stranger and probably the other person look at you like, do I know you? You know? So I want to be like that. I want to be like very open to anybody, like open to strangers even. And if the stranger say something to me, it's like, just like, general greetings and questions and just small talk. I want to be able to like join the conversation and have a good time with that person, even though like we know that we never see each other again. So that's probably the thing that have stuck with me from the West. No. Any habits you picked up from the West that have caused any embarrassment once you got home? Actually, things I picked up from the US helped me. Especially with doing business, because like I've been running my business on my own since I was like 20 or 21. So it was very hard for me to be taken seriously by anybody. And I tend to come off very serious person. Like I'm like straight arrow. Okay, so this is not like me bragging, so you can just like let it go as I said it. But basically throughout my life, from maybe like kindergarten to high school, college, maybe not so college, but yeah, basically I've been a straight A student. So, and in Japan, right? So I'm very, very serious, straight arrow, square, whatever you call person. So, and I went overseas and I had to like kind of like I'm still like that person, like I'm still the same person, but I became more very open-minded, kind of like easygoing, and I can talk with anybody. I don't need to care about like how old they are. As I said, age matters in Japan, but it doesn't really matter in overseas. And there are certain like polite ways to talk to other people, but still like compared to Japan, it's very casual in a good way. And I spend most of my like important like teenage time in overseas, so I can't really fit in to Japanese society where if your boss or the senpai, if you know what that is, like senpai is basically everyone who is older than you. Uh, if they say something that's probably wrong or have different opinion than me, not so many people say, "Hey, I have different opinion than you." If you know you're a Japanese person, like usually like few people do that. But I don't know how to control myself in that way. So it's like if I think that opinion is wrong, I was like, "Excuse me, I think this is like I think you have different opinion than me, and this is what I feel." So I can express myself. You know what I mean? And I can be very, I can be very casual at the same time. But then I have an excuse. I'm using this. I have an excuse saying, "Hey, I spent a couple years in overseas, and I go by the name Sherry." So no, not so many people knows my last name or Japanese name. So people can say, yeah, like, she is kind of like, very like Western. So it's okay. I don't do anything rude though. I don't do anything rude, but, and then like, then the people start getting me like job, especially like YouTube related jobs. But then I switched to my straight A student me, which does everything probably 120%. So then like I come out with like, here you go, this is the work that I've done. And basically they can't say anything because I do 120%. So I do a little bit more than they ask me to do. So yeah, so it's not like embarrassing. Maybe it's embarrassing from the third person view because like probably I don't even know how to exchange the business card proper way, and I don't wear a suit. I may go into the meeting where I may need to wear a suit, but I don't own a suit. I just dress up a little bit nicer. I don't go into like, jeans or anything like that. I don't do that. But still, yeah, I don't do like very, suit. So then maybe there are people who saying like, oh, she doesn't, she's from like she went to other countries, so she can't dress up in Japanese way or something like that. But like, I do draw perfectly, so forgive me. So yeah, yep. Anyway, I'm getting so many comments while I'm talking, but I don't think I can work for a company. I can work with the company, but yeah, like I can't I can't think of anything rather than entrepreneurship. Like I don't have a choice. Like it didn't have to be teaching English. It didn't have to be cram school. It didn't have to be like YouTube or anything. Well, probably I did YouTube anyway. But my business, I don't consider YouTube as a business. So like my business wise, I don't think like cuz like I could work for if I liked teaching English, then I could have gone to like any English schools, right? And then I think I said a couple times in my old videos that I wanted to go to Tokyo. I wanted to live in Tokyo, maybe once in my life. Maybe not forever, but like maybe a few weeks or a few weeks, few years or something. But then I don't know why, but I never thought of like, oh, well, then I should find a job in Tokyo. Then I can speak English, so maybe I can like work for a Kaiwa school. I never thought of that. Yeah, I also wanted to start something from scratch on my own. So I guess that's me. But yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read. You guys like give me a very long comments. Thank you. Oh, Singapore. Yeah, I'm interested in Singapore too. Never been though. One of my students went there. He said it was like a really nice country, but yeah, and I think someone who's like some like entrepreneur person said like if he wants to start a business in Asia, probably in Singapore. So yeah. Singapore. But still like going to Finland is on my list though. My friend actually texted me the other day saying that, she was like very busy getting back to me, but uh if I was still interested, she can introduce some people to me. So maybe. Sherry needs to open a Japanese school in the US. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, yeah. Because, like, as I said, like, for me, I don't have to teach English. Like, I teach English here, I teach other subject over there, I can teach Japanese other countries. Um, yeah, that might be, that might be fun. Yeah, in my, like, future plan. Oh, okay. Good question. Where did you get the money then as you start your entrepreneurship with no regular day job? I did have a regular day job. It's more like a part-time job. So when I came back from the States, literally I had no money whatsoever. Um, well, I never go bankrupt, but so I actually didn't have any choice but to come home, like home, my parents' house. So basically, I didn't have any problem with finding a place to live, right? So that's one thing that I don't have to worry about for a while. And then I think first thing that I did was to get a driver's license because it's very countryside. So if you don't have a driver's license, you can't go anywhere. And then second, who's we? I got a job at a shoe store. I actually have a video about this somewhere. But I got a job at this shoe store it was a part-time job in a shopping mall. And I picked that just because from my experience, I didn't want to do anything related to food. I used to work at McDonald's. I won't say much, but you probably understand. That's not something that you want to go back to. So it was a good experience. But yeah, so I wanted to do something like, just retail shop. And then I decided to work at the shopping mall because the hourly payment was better than other places. It was about eight bucks per hour. Usually $7 per hour if you work for other places. So it's like I took that job. Then I start working at a Italian restaurant near my house. It's a very small, like, family owned restaurant. So yeah, the owner, like, the married couple run that place, but that they are super duper nice. Like, I kept that job for a very very long time, just because like I barely went in, but like I went in for a couple hours, just like once a month or something at the end. But they're like, oh, like anytime you can come, it's fine. Like, they're so nice. So, and it was like, walking distance from my house, so I kept that job for a while. But I worked at the shoe store for about 6 months, I think. And when I work, I start working from like 8 and get ready to open the store from 9, and then I work basically full time. So 8 hours, so 9 hours if you include lunchtime. Then I'll be done by like 4 or 5, right? Then I go on the way back home. I stop by my back then I didn't have my office, so I was visiting a student's house. And so on the way back home, I was visiting students' house to teach English one by one. And then I started to get more students, so I decided to use my one of the rooms in my house. And then I started teaching in the evening. But like, during the daytime, because kids go to school, so you don't have to. You can't have any classes. So I work during daytime, and I work as an English teacher at night, kind of schedule. So I did that for like about 6 months, and then I started to notice I got enough students to support myself just doing that like English job. Then I quit the shoe store 6 months later, and I kept the Italian restaurant job. Then and I was teaching English basically. So yeah, I did have some jobs. And some new people. Hi new people. Any Western foods that you miss and can't get in Japan? Good question. Like, is it food? Yeah, food. Turkey. Period. Like, I miss turkey sandwiches. Yeah, turkey. I think if you go to Subway in Japan, you can get turkey sandwich, but that's pretty much it. And the Subway is like so overpriced. So I probably went like once or twice in my life in Japan. Yeah. So it was kind of funny because like when I went back to Missouri a couple years ago, like my friends were like, what do you want to eat? And then I was like, turkey, get me turkey. So basically almost every day, my lunch was turkey sandwich. So yeah. Going back your messages. CEO World Language Schools, yay! Let's do that. There is the hospital across the street. There's like a semi big road in front of my office, and across the street from here, that's a big hospital. So like once in a while, like there are like the ambulance coming by. Ah, I miss Komeda's cafe in Japan. Actually, I never been to Komeda Coffee. I never been that. Where is the cat? Sorry. So like before I started this live stream, my house Wi-Fi broke, so I had to drive to my office, and my cat is at home, so no cat. Sorry. Have you ever been to Takayama, Gifu? No, I haven't been to Gifu. I have been to Hokkaido, Aomori, Tokyo, Chiba, Fukuoka, Oita, Kumamoto, Yamaguchi, Kyoto, Nara, Osaka, Hyogo, Hiroshima, Okayama. That's it. So I'm not like Norm who goes everywhere in Japan. So yeah. Oh, connection keeps dropping. Is it me? Is it me or all the Mid-South? Yeah, because I'm living in Mid-South. Oh yeah, so I've been to all the Shikoku islands though. Shikoku prefectures though. So Ehime, I don't know, I should go this way or this way, but like Ehime, Kagawa, Tokushima, Kochi. Japanese onsens worth the price of the trip? Yeah, I think so. I personally don't go to onsen that often. It's just because it's not like it's pricey or anything. It just the water is too hot for me. So yeah, I go to onsen or sento sometimes. But yeah, like definitely, like if it's like a famous onsen, like definitely you should go. Like I think there are like Beppu onsen or like Dogo onsen as well. Yeah, there are many onsen in Japan, and if you happen to go to one of those places that's famous for onsen, then definitely you should try one. Yeah. But my one of my one of my friends from overseas. I think she's from. Yeah, I think the conversation was held with my German friend. My German friend came, and then I asked her like, "Oh, do you want to go to onsen?" And then she's like, "Yeah." And then actually, my mom asked her, and she was like, "Yeah, like in Germany there are many onsens too, right?" And so I was like, okay, hold on, like we don't wear a bathing suits though. And then she was like, no way. So no bathing suit. And if you have a tattoo, you can usually go into onsen. Dogo onsen you can. So that's very rare. So that's probably two things that you should know. Do I like samurai? That's it's not like I like watching samurai movies or anything. Never really thought of like if I like samurai, but I think I don't like the Okay, I should have sort of like maybe, but I didn't like how I looked in the samurai costume. Do you remember that video where I had like a red helmet thingy and then like armor? And I was like, oh, I look so terrible, but like I had to put it in because I like that was like one of the jobs that I got from the Ehime government. So like, oh, I have to. But anyway, so there is like one manga that I liked when I was little, and that was Samurai X. So yeah, like Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah. So maybe that makes me that I like samurai. Your call. Any good cider in Japan? Cider means like you mean like pop, the soda pop. Let me know. Because like we have a brand called Mitsuya Cider. That's the only probably the brand that's called cider, and that's different from like cider in other countries. What is my opinion about enka? I don't listen to enka. Sorry, I don't. um, it's not like I don't like it or young people don't like it. It's just we don't listen to it. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's it. Sorry. Any new videos soon? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's just I gotta come up with like, do you have any topic that you want to hear? Because like we all know that we can't go outside now, so I can't go out and say like, here, this is blah blah blah. But it's more like I sit in the office or at home and film. So we're gonna have. That's like I was like maybe like live is better because like then we can like talk like randomly. Cider rare in Japan, but some now available. Still, I don't know about like what kind of cider you're talking about, like a general soda or like Japan has like a lot of like limited editions. So, do I live stream often? I don't actually. This is probably my third or fourth in the last like how many years I'm doing YouTube. So I know the cat, right? Sorry. Like you probably seen the thumbnail, that's why. Yeah, like my I think probably the third time I explained this, but like my home Wi-Fi broke, so I had to come to the office, and I took the thumbnail with the cat at home. So I left my cat at home, obviously. So anyway, we've been talking like 2 hours now, though. I'm from Romania. I read Shogun. I don't know what it is. Obviously, that's a book, right? Shogun book. I never heard of it. I'm not a big book reader. Okay, I'll get a few more questions and I'll probably wrap it up. What current cities are considered to live in the future in terms of city development and entrepreneurships? Seems like everyone is rushing into main cities. Ah, that's a good question, Alex. Cities. Like, so far, I think that's depending on what kind of business you're running, right? If you need to meet many people every day and you have to make lots of connections, and then if you have to move fast, and if you can't do that online, then you should go to Tokyo or maybe Osaka. because that's where people are, right? Good or bad. But like what I do, or like most of the thing, if you can do everything online, even if you have to be connected all the time, like we are connected right now and we all have to stay home, but still we can talk, right? So if that's the case, then I feel like you should find a place that you like, and maybe you can sit in an office, right? If you go to Tokyo, maybe like your earnings barely cover your mortgage, and you can't save any money for anything else. But if you live in the countryside or something, then you can, stay in the place that you like with the, few costs. But then maybe you can have an office besides your home, and that you can run the business there. And then mainly you do everything online. Then when you actually have to go to Tokyo, then you can go to Tokyo. There are planes, right? So like I prefer my life here. Yeah, because like if I want, I can go to Tokyo, I can go to America, I can go anywhere. But like the living cost isn't that bad here. Um, Yet still I can talk like this, and so I can do any sort of meetings like this. So yeah, if that answers your question. Should I answer maybe like two, three? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I should make cats video probably. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna see through your questions, and then I'll pick. Okay, I'll pick two. Okay. All right, first one. Okay. Okay. Those are all good questions. Okay, I'll answer some. I just said two, and then I'll pick some. Okay, root beer, thumbs up. Next. What kind of jobs are available for English-speaking foreigners in Ehime or Shikoku? Sadly, just English speakers. English speakers. Sadly, see, that's what I'm ending this. Sadly, just English teaching jobs if you can only speak English. So, like you don't have to be fluent in Japanese, but if you can study Japanese, and of course reading and writing as well, because you have to probably communicate via emails, right? Japanese people don't really like phone calls, so probably a lot of things are done by emails. So like once you start to understand the phrases that people use in business world, and you can like probably like copy and paste and stuff. But yeah, especially if you want to come to like Shikoku or like countryside, then there are less companies owned by foreign companies. So there are many, like maybe or only Japanese people, so you have to be able to speak or communicate in Japanese. How does it feel being closer to 30? I'm turning 29 next month. I feel like it's just like every day I have something that I want to do, and like every time it's like, oh, this is the last thing I will do, right? And I'll settle for a while. And I've been saying that every single year, I feel like. So, like, turning 30 doesn't change anything. Like, yeah, like turning 30, becoming closer to 30 is like, like still you're 29, right? That means you have one more year. You're turning 29 next month, right? So that means like you still have 1 year to do something before 30. And 1 year is long if you think about it. So, oh, my birthday is in September too. I'm turning, so that means like I'm turning 28 in September. So that means like I'll have like 2 years until 30. And then like, what's 30? Like 30 doesn't, like literally 30 doesn't mean anything. Like you can start something at 29 or you can start something at 30, 32, doesn't matter. You can have, maybe I'll have like big celebration or something with you guys, and that's pretty much it. So yeah. And okay, I guess this is the last question. Okay. This may sound a bit sorry. I keep tapping on something else. Oh, where'd it go? 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 Come on, where'd it go? Where'd it go? This may sound a bit philosophical, sorry, but where do you see yourself from 5 or 10 years from now? Okay, 5 years from now, that means I'll be 32. 10 years from now will be 37. Business-wise, I just want to keep going. Oh, good night. Yeah, I just want to keep going. Like, I've probably grown enough for now. And I think one thing this COVID thing taught me is that things happen suddenly, good or bad. And there's no warning whatsoever most of the time. So like you can step forward, you can keep going forward, but then you have to think, even if something uncontrollable things happen suddenly in your life, you have to be able to at least sustain your business and survive that moment. So right now I'm not getting any new students because of this situation, but I was able to switch to online lessons and stuff like that, and I still keep in the business, right? So yeah, so if in my early 20s, I was thinking like if I can grow my business twice as big, 10 times big in a year or two, that's something that defines you as an entrepreneur, like you were successing. But now I think about it, like how fast you grow doesn't mean that you will never fail or crush. Something like this happens. So like the true strength as a person and as a business owner is the like stability. Like if you can keep offering this service and stuff. So I will be like simply, like maybe this answer is like very boring, but simply if I can hold on to this business, hold on to my lifestyle, and if I can just keep going with the current situation in the next 5 years, 10 years, I'll be more than happy. And if I can add something else, maybe something like, someone was saying like maybe I can open up a Japanese school in like, other country or something, that would be awesome. But for now, I feel like I'd be probably more than happy if I can like stay as it is. So yeah, that's my answer. Okay, anyway. It's way over 2 hours. And I was actually asking my brother to come along because like, I don't think I can do 2 hours. And here we are, we can, so. All right, I know like there are a lot of like comments and questions coming up, but I'll take a look at it definitely later. And if I can, does YouTube keep those comments on the comment section? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'll take a look at it. And thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was like stay home, but I'm stay office. So it wasn't like a stay home. But thank you so much. Good night, guys. Stay safe. Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, Osaka is a nice place too. Bye. Bye from UK. Good night. Thank you. Bye. We should do this more often. Bye. Good night. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Bye. All right. I don't know how to end this, so I might suddenly end this. All right. Bye. Bye, guys. I'll end in 3, 2, 1.